I think I want to do a video today regarding this particular issue regarding drama queens because as you all know we have a lot of those type of people that actually I guess dwell here on YouTube, and there's not really much that can be done about it. The only thing that you can do is tolerate them like you do insects, little gnats and such. But it really what really determines the I guess a person's worth is actually how you choose to deal with people who I would consider to be somewhat of an annoyance. Now, I actually did a video uh, regarding I posted my issue regarding a battle, a beef, if you will, between two people who we all know about here on YouTube, which is the Advice Show and Tommy Sotomayor. And pretty much in that video, for the most part, I pretty much laid out my issues and my thing, and pretty much what I think the reason why you actually have a lot of times the reason why you have so much beefs going on between two dominant personalities. And for the most part, I blame it solely on the subscribers for the most part. Now, even though that video, in my opinion, made a whole lot of sense, and really, I mean, you really can't really argue against it. I mean, the only thing you can do is really listen to really sound reasoning. I mean, and of course, people are going to take away from it what they want because that's just the way people are. In my opinion, there was not really much room for question because the video was well brought, it was clearly understood, and the point of view or the aim of the video was pretty much well stated. And pretty much what it is that they really needed to squash the beef. That's all that the whole video was all about. And of course, not really be concerned about what other folks say about you. You do what you can to help, to make you a better you. But as always, you have those that want to interject and always have something to say about, this, that, and the other. And for the most part, they want to actually make their voice known that I guess I don't know if they think that I misunderstood the entire thing or that I really didn't understand how the beef really started or whatever the case may be. In my opinion, I don't really care how the argument really started because basically it's really an argument or a beef that really should not have started in the first place. I mean, YouTube is a big place, and actually it involves a whole lot of people that are current members that are posting videos and such. But I think this video actually I'm going to actually dedicate to someone pretty much. And I, first of all, don't believe in actually talking about someone or giving reference to someone because that's not how I actually roll. If I have an issue, which I don't, but apparently someone else must have with me as far as every time I have something to say, they got to have something to say back. I will have to dedicate this video to a YouTube person by the name of, what is it, Model Miss 1000 or something like that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. For some reason, I look at you and actually wonder, okay, why do you keep responding to everything that I have to say? Okay, I actually already told you in a previous thread on my page to just drop the issue and move on. But somehow, some or another, you have to somehow try to prove some sort of point, I don't know, of trying to, I guess, get someone to, or get me to actually see, what you're saying. Like I said, I'm not dumb, okay? But apparently you think that I am. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep following me back and forth, back and forth. The only people that actually do that are those who are full of drama. I pretty much told you that I really am not interested in anything that you have to say because you don't interest me in the least. But for some reason, you can't seem to leave that alone. It's like everybody who you talk to, they have to accept what you have to say. And see, as I stated once before and time again, which I don't think, I don't know if you have a hole in your brain or, what the issue is. You came onto my video leaving a comment. Okay, and like I say, YouTube allows that. I mean, like I say, and like I said, if I really didn't want that, being done, I would block you. And of course, that's not really all that much of a bad idea. But like I say, I'm entertaining that thought, even though I'm not saying that I'm going to do it. But at least that's an option that's way back there in the back of my brain, just in case you get too out of hand. But see, one thing about it is that it's okay, to sit there and leave your thoughts and opinions and such like that. And like I say, most grown folks leave their thoughts and opinions and everything, and then they turn around and they move on. They don't sit there and keep following up a conversation, following up as if they're trying to prove their intellect. You know, like I say, I really don't care or wish to care about, what you view or how you think about the situation. My whole purpose of that video was to address one person, and that was the advice show. And I think he pretty much got the picture of what I was, or the gist of what I was saying. I'm pretty sure that he saw the video. So really, anybody else who actually have anything other than that, sitting up there saying, you're missing the whole point, or whatever the case may be, it really, I don't care what you think. Because if I care what you thought, I would address you in a video. Just like I'm addressing you in this video. You said that you don't make videos, so I do. So basically, that's why I'm making this one, so I can pretty much let the audience know pretty much the type of person that you are. See, one thing about it is that drama queens are so full of drama till it's just like that's pretty much the only thing that they know. It's like that's all they know. They don't know how to really sit there and really understand and see what somebody else is coming from without actually trying to find fault in I guess someone else's interpretation of what's going on. As I stated before, my views are my views. Like I say, and you don't have to agree. And that's okay that you don't agree. I could care less whether or not you agree or disagree. See, one thing about it that all I ask is that, like I say, the person who this video or that video was addressed to, that they hear and understand where I was coming from. And apparently, for some reason, more people actually saw the issue or the concept that I was coming from, more than you did. So I don't understand. You're one person who is so ornery, who is in disagreement with, I guess, everything that I'm going to say at this point because of the fact of something that you're trying to prove. But it's so funny that 9 other people saw pretty much what the video was about and the whole purpose of the video and the meaning of the video. You brought up I guess a comment on my thread talking about, that Tommy Sotomayor is afraid of you and this, that, and the other. I don't know where that came from, and like I say, I really don't care, but I think I really find that quite interesting. One thing, I look at a lot of people's videos. I subscribe. I would say this. I actually don't really subscribe to people just for the sake of subscribing, because one thing about it that most of the time when I subscribe to people, it's the fact that I cannot believe how unbelievable they think they are. And it would be always interesting and amazing to see what type of new low they will, put themselves, and talk about in order to boost their rep. So that's pretty much the reason why, for the most part, in some cases, that I listen to a lot of Tommy Sotomayor's videos. Everything that he posts is not really a bad thing for the most part, because some things he really does talk about is really issues, in some cases, issues about life. But when he go off on this tirade about, black women this, black women that, pretty much my ear becomes deaf for the most part, meaning that I don't really want to hear much of that, because black women for the most part already know what their issues are, or they should by this time, because most black men on YouTube have already ironed out mostly all of them, and there's still like a whole bunch of them also. That's not to say that we don't have any, but it's just the sake of just saying, that black women do have issues. But what really tripped me out is the fact that you said that he's afraid of you because you can see his soul. Now, I don't know if that was something that you were trying to use to, I guess, some type of a scare tactic or something on my end, but I look at you and I laugh, because all you are is a voice. That's all you are to me. I don't care about who you can get to be afraid of you. I'm not Tommy Sotomayor. I'm the truth seeker. Get it right. And like I say, as far as your tactics and your methodologies or whatever else that you use to come to your own conclusions about stuff, that's all you. You own that. No one can take that from you. I really don't want to take that from you, because everybody has their own style and their own methodologies on how they interpret information. Oh, smart one. So you can kind of take that intellect that you think that you have, that you may think that may intimidate someone, and really go back to where you came from, wherever you came from. Because for some reason or another, you caught wind that this video was being made, or you pretty much maybe trolled the advice show's video, waiting to see what type of responses other was going to send in, and for some reason, my video caught your eyes. And you felt the need to post something on there. I'm not saying that you're a bad person. I'm not saying that you're a good person, because I don't know you. But see, the part that you don't get to understand, and I guess you're not really used to folks telling you this, is that I'm not interested in wanting to know you. You don't interest me. And I think that's the part that you fail to really want to understand. You think that folks got to give you attention or whatever the case. Like I say, I do it because at the time, sometimes I may be bored, or maybe I have something on my mind that I really want to say. But for some reason, I think that you are just like a lot of most other black women on here that want to keep things going and trying to read into things that are not there. And that, in my opinion, is a classic definition of a drama queen. And it fits you to a T. Okay? I responded to you. First, you said something, and I responded to you through a private message. Okay, for some reason, I guess you're behind on your shoulders and saying that, why in the world would I send you a private message? I addressed you on this thread, so you should do the same thing. Something like that. Now, to me, that was insulting. Okay? I didn't even know you from Adam's apple or Eve's apple or whatever you want to call it. So pretty much when you said that, that pretty much set the tone on pretty much the rest of the way how the conversation was going to go. And when you said that, I pretty much knew from that point that you are nothing more than a drama queen. I address you how I want to address you because you came on to my playground. Okay, so if you don't like the stuff that I'm putting out, the same way you brought your behind on my page, you can turn around and take your behind off of my page. I prefer that you do that. I don't have anything with sound reasoning and opposing viewpoints. That's what YouTube is all about. That's what stimulates creativity. That's what makes good videos. But when you are a gnat and you're sitting up there just buzzing in folks' ears, I don't care what you have to say. I'm not interested because you are an annoyance to me. Okay, that's all that I have to say to you regarding this, because for some reason you say that you don't make videos, so I figured that I'll go ahead and do you one better. I'll make one and dedicate it solely to you, the drama queen. Most folks may not agree with this. They may know you or whatever, but I don't know you, and I don't have to want to know you. You don't interest me. How many times do I have to tell you that? In that well-educated brain of yours. You're not the only one that's educated, okay? You're not the only one. I hate when people do that, when they sit there and try to bring up, the fact of, their, I guess, on how they speak and everything like that. English is English. Slang is slang. You communicated because I understood what you said. It doesn't matter whether or not you educated or not. A fool can sit there and put two sentences together, and it looks like you've done so quite well. I understand where you're coming from. But on the tail end of that, I also told you I'm not interested in what you have to say because my video was not addressed to you. As far as you saying that if you was massaging, or I guess something like massaging my comments, or I should say liking my comments, I would have a different attitude towards you. Look, it doesn't have anything to do with that because my purpose is my purpose. Whether or not you agree or disagree, I am not going to die because of what you have to say, whether or not you go along with what I say or whether or not I say something that doesn't make sense to you. There are a lot of people that run across my pages and everything that may post comments saying good video and stuff like that. Like I say, that's all their opinion, all well and fine, but I know what my purpose is. I don't do videos based on the purpose of how somebody else is going to perceive my words. You can agree or disagree. That is your choice. But just because you may say, okay, I like what you have to say or whatever, I may treat you differently. No, I'll look at it, read it, and I'll move on. Name me one person on this thread where I actually told them something, where they said that video made sense or whatever. Let's sit down and talk about some other things, or say something. Now, everybody who actually said something or made a comment about my video, I never said anything else back to them for the most part. You're the only one who I actually, gave, I guess, a response to. Because you misunderstood the whole message of what I was actually aiming for. You're the only one. So that lets me know that you are a drama queen. And sooner or later, drama queens usually get the proper treatment, which is they are escorted out the door because of their nonsense. Like I say, I'm not going to do that at this point, but I can't say that I won't do it in the next day or two or whatever, because I'm over all of this, issue about black folks not being able to get along. That's the reason why we are being clowned. And like I said, that's the reason why most black women like yourself are given the boot so much. Because you're full of drama. You're nagging. And like I say, I can't deal with all that nagging. So you can take this video any way you want to. I really don't care. And I'm pretty sure you'll have more to say because, again, you have a lot of hot air. And that's why I suggested to you use that hot air constructively and invest in a video camera. And then go ahead and do what you got to do. But like I say, I'm not interested in you. I'm not interested in your views. I'm not. Because, again, my video was not addressed to you. Unlike this one that has your name written all over it. Okay? That's all I have to say for now.